All right, ladies and gentlemen, how's it going? You got Chuck over here at the Rio Blanco Roofing.com studios, and this is Keeping It Rio. Really excited about the guest we've got here today, Mr. Kevin Barrelle. Kevin, how you doing, bud?
I'm doing good, Chuck. How are you, man?
I'm doing awesome. Absolutely having a great day here in College Station. We got roofs going up. The weather's beautiful. Talking to one of my best buddies in the industry on the podcast, so it doesn't get any better than that.
That's right, man. Absolutely, dude. It was supposed to rain today. We canceled all of our roofs, but that's the way it goes. You know what I mean? And not one drop.
I always joke, if you want a sunny day, let me know. I won't go wash the car if you need it to rain. Even if there's a 0% chance, I'll go wash the car and it will rain. So
That's right.
weather is definitely something we love dealing with in our industry and our line of work. But hey, Mother Nature keeps us on our toes, right?
Absolutely.
So, anyways, hey, I think we got some really good stuff to talk about here today. Some value that we're going to bring. Let's just jump right in. What do you say? I mean, we don't need to do a whole lot of intro. If you want to take a second and tell everybody who Kevin Barrelle is and what you're all about, that'd be awesome. And then we're just going to jump in and just start riffing.
Well, I'm Kevin Barrelle. Obviously, we've been introduced, but I own Barrelle Roofing. We're out of Atlanta, Georgia, and we have multiple branches here, and then we have some branches in South Carolina as well. And man, really, roofing's a byproduct of what we do here. And our hashtags, we also do roofs, right? And what we do more than anything is focus on positively impacting the lives of the people that we come in contact with on a daily basis, whether that's through putting a roof on someone's house, through working with us here at Barrelle Roofing, or our community outreach that we do. So that's our motto, and that's what we stick by. And
you guys do a lot in the community, that's for sure. And seeing your company growth, I mean, we've been friends for years. I remember before you had all those branches, and it doesn't seem like it was that long ago. How quick were you able to expand? I mean, from the original Barrelle Roofing to how many do you have now?
We have 5 branches.
So to go from 1 to 5, what was the time frame?
So it more so than time frame, it was the mindset. More so than anything, because we could have done this on year 2, right? But the mindset wasn't there, and it took a lot of personal growth for myself to be able to get to that point and be able to get it to expand to where it is now. And nothing gets better till we get better, right? So I focused a lot on personal growth, and it got us to that point. But within the last few years, we've expanded a good bit, and that's when we really started our expansion. So this year is actually our 10-year anniversary. We've been in business, so we're pretty stoked about that. We got a really big event that we're planning to do as part of our company motto and stuff. So we're excited about that. We're working on that. Got some details to drop, but when time comes. But yeah, we're definitely excited about that 10-year mark.
That's huge when you look at the statistics and realize most don't make it a year. 10 is absolutely amazing, and you're just getting started. I know that. So congratulations on the milestone, and here's to many more in the future. What kind of stuff you want to talk about today? I mean, we got so much stuff going on in both our heads that we could probably fill a 20-hour podcast. What kind of topics you want to discuss? We'll just kind of have a conversation, but what direction you want to take it in?
So it was funny. I was, like I said yesterday, man, when we were on the phone, I was like, dude, this is our podcast. This is it right here. We should have had it rolling, right? And because I honestly, man, I told one of the guys in the office, I was like, listen, man, it's time that we roll these things out. It's time that we start working on this, because I've got some stuff to say, and I think people need to hear it, and not in a boastful way, but in a very helpful way, in a way of growth, and a way of to help them expand their mindsets and really be able to grow.
Yeah, and that's such an amazing thing is, we've got different roofing company owners and everybody's working together trying to help each other, sharing different things about the way that we do our businesses to help the overall picture. It's an amazing scenario that you don't see with a lot of roofing companies. So pretty cool. That we've all got that mindset of personal growth and development. And oh, by the way, everywhere I go, I install the best roofs in town. So it's really a unique situation. Kind of let's talk about how that's evolved. I mean, I think both of us have been in the industry for a long time. I'm 23 years. I know you started in the industry way before you started your company. So we've kind of seen the evolution of things as, the last 20 years have changed not just the world, but our industry for sure. Um, how did you guys get to the point where you switched from being, Barrelle Roofing, a roofing company who installs roofs, to a personal development company that, also does roofs, but is more focused on overall development of your people, growing new leaders, developing people, helping people achieve their goals? At what point in your 10 years did that start to show itself and start to become your prominent way of thinking?
So when I started this, we put our name on it, because, I was like, you know what, I'm going to put my name on this company. That way, I 100% have to stand by everything. This is proof, like, hey, I put my name on it, and, but then it kind of, evolved to, I wanted to show people that there's a way out there, man. There's a way that you can, live a somewhat successful life in doing roofing, right? And we started, portraying that out there and getting and letting people know, hey, look, we want to help you, right? Like, we want to help you get better. We want to help you grow. And that's been our mantra, and that's what we've been after. And it became a point to where it was, if you really, really want to make an impact, like, you got to focus on more than just one person, right? And I was always scared of the next growth, a fear factor of, I was scared of the next step. I was scared of getting outside of that comfort zone because, quite honestly, I mean, I could give you the rags to riches story, right? And I've got it. It's there. We came from the bottom, the whole 9 yards, but, um, you know, I was seeing the success, right? And I was seeing the next level of growth in myself and finances and stuff like that. But it wasn't as impactful as it was to watch other people experience that. Now, when people walk through our office and on Fridays, they're super excited because they got this nice check on Fridays. That puts a smile on my face, and just because I know it's life changing for them, and they get to go home and they don't have to worry about, are they going to be able to pay next month's bills or this month's bills. I mean, there's 6 months down the road, and you know what I mean? They don't have to worry about that kind of stuff. And getting them to experience that, and them come in and talking about their stories on how well, like, man, how everything's changed. I don't have to worry about paying my truck payment anymore, and stuff like that. It's really, it really warms my heart and does good to see that stuff, man, and hear it and see other people succeeding.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. I think at this stage in the game for me, I did everything. I started as a truck driver and I delivered shingles for 15 years and manually loaded roofs. Went and started a roofing supply company from scratch and built that up, and then moved to another place in the country and kind of started over and reestablished myself. I think now with Rio Blanco, especially, my main goal is to give opportunities to people who maybe haven't had the opportunity to fulfill their dreams or to meet their potential. Maybe people that have been kind of treated poorly in other locations and just need a place to go where they can feel needed and wanted. But that's my whole thing. Every day when I wake up, it's like I want to see what I can give back, not just to our industry, but to humankind as a whole. The world's been pretty good to me. Everybody has good and bad days, but I'm in a place that I never would have imagined even possible 3 years ago. So when the opportunity was given to me, the lifetime opportunity, I decided at that point what I was going to do is give back and try to help as many people, show support to as many people who are out there working, trying to, achieve their dreams. And you're absolutely right. I mean, I was a multi-million-dollar sales rep, and I would have more joy watching somebody sign their first deal or someone winning a sales award, the top sales for the week or the month. I would be more happy for someone else winning it than I would for myself. And I think that was a huge part of my growth as a person because, that was certainly not always my mindset. I always wanted to be the guy winning everything. But when you start putting in the work and you put effort into others and helping them achieve their goals, it's more fulfilling to see that, I believe, than it is to do it yourself. So that's a great mindset. And that's why you've got the locations. That's why your company's growing. That's why you've got the reputation you have, because we're doing it for the right reasons. This isn't about a paycheck. It's not about how much can I get out of this customer. It's how much can I give back to this customer. And with that mindset, I believe that the possibilities are endless. And I think we're all just really getting started with what we're ultimately going to end up achieving.
Yeah, that's the best part, man, I've always said this: roofing's a byproduct of what we do. And, I stay focused on that. That's what we preach here is roofing's a byproduct. If you really want to get to help people, you get out there and you watch their smile on their face once they get the new roof on and stuff like that. It's a fulfilling moment, right? You get to see that smile on their face and they're happy about it. But most importantly is like seeing the guys, seeing the people that you work with every single day, put a smile on their face and their family lives, their home lives, everything gets better. Right. And, that was my main, that was my main purpose when we kicked off was, hey, look, man, I found this path. This path works. It works very well. And, here's the roadmap. Right. And, a lot of people went on from here to do big things, which is great too. And, it's at first, you know what I'm saying? It's like, dadgummit, man, this is, I can't believe this is happening, right? They're going out, but you know what? You played a part in that, whether it was a small part or a large part. You played a part in their success and what they're doing out there right now. And you got to take that. I mean, that's a little, that's a little heartwarming as well to see them do so well out there.
It definitely is. And I'll tell you, that's again, it's kind of an uncommon mindset in our industry. It's almost like most roofing companies, they train the people just enough to where they're not smart enough to leave, or don't give them the thought process that leads them to think that they can do it. Our thought process is completely opposite. To me, it's like if I can train someone so good that they feel that they can go out and do something different and still do it at that same level that we taught them at, ultimately it's better for the entire industry. It's better for the people. It's better for everybody involved. So, I mean, I've never disparaged anyone that leaves. If they leave under the right circumstances, obviously there are different ways to go about doing that. But if you have someone on board and they come up and say, hey, you know what? I think I'm ready to go do my own deal, or, I think I can go do something above and beyond what I'm doing now. I encourage that. I'd love to just have everybody on our team go do that and start from scratch and just build a whole nother team and do it all over and over again. But to me, that's the incredible thing about this whole deal. Most roofing companies would they make stupid decisions. Honestly, if someone tells you they don't want to work with you anymore and you keep them on board or you beg them to stay, that never works out. It's always going to end up, a disaster, because once someone says they don't want to do it, their mind has been made up. There's no going back. So I've always been one that encouraged people to take off. I won't never talk anybody into trying to stay, because number one, that can affect your culture that you've built with your team. But number two, if they feel the confidence and they feel that they're able to go do something better, by all means, you only get X amount of days in this world. So make sure you're doing something that you feel good about, something that you love, and, something that you have fun doing. That's to me the most important thing, whether it's here or another roofing company, or you start your own power washing business or whatever. We always encourage people to do what you love, because it makes it that much better, so much more fulfilling when you're enjoying every step of it. And even the hard days, you can find something positive and pull from that to help you get moving forward the next day. And that's what I love about it. It's just all positivity. It's all support. It's all good. So, I mean, your company is outstanding like that, just like Rio and our affiliates. And I think that's what separates us from a lot of the other roofing contractors in the industry.
Yeah, and the circle that we've built around that, being able to hop on a call, hey man, asking for help when it's needed, giving help when it's needed, that's super important in all of this, and it's important, man. It's important to have a great support system around you, and being able to help you grow, help you get to the next level, man. And I know we talked about getting to the next level a good bit here already, and it's all a mindset shift, right? Like, you can get stuck into that comfortable zone, and I've said this 100 times. When you're trying to go to a different universe, the universe you're leaving, you're forcing change on it. You're forcing change on yourself and everything around you. So it's what's normal, right, to stay in there because it's uncomfortable. But every time you put yourself in an uncomfortable situation, it expands your mind. It gets you thinking different thoughts, and it allows you to go to the next level, right? Whether it's just thinking new thoughts, that's another level, and you get to experience that, right? Because it's not the old cliche of just go to work 9 to 5 all day, every day. That's not what this is about. It's about growing and expanding. And every position that we have at Barrelle Roofing, we have it set up to where you can build an entire team up under you with some initiative. You can have a whole team of social media people. You can have a whole team of sales guys. You can salespeople up under you. You can have a whole team. Everything that project management, all that stuff. Like, there's a whole team that you can build, and there's a whole segment up under that. And a lot of people get trapped in that mindset. Well, I got to do it all. I have to do it all. And I'm going to tell you, the scarcity part of that is well, if I keep control of it, I'll be able to manage and maintain this level of quality. Well, you don't ever sacrifice the quality, right? Because that's what allows you to continue to do the things that you do. Is people want quality, but you don't sacrifice that part. You just get somebody in there and you train them to be able to make sure that quality doesn't lose the any effectiveness that it has. So then they build a team up under them. You help them build that team, right? It's a whole bound of success out of everybody being able to do that.
Yeah, I agree with you 100% on that. And that's how you scale a company too. You build an entire team underneath you. They become the next level leaders who then build the team underneath them, and so on and so forth. And I mean, it's just a constant, it's a constant process. It never ends. It never changes. Every day I go out and I'm like the old Mike Code deal, take 3 business cards, hand out 3 cards to prospects, anybody that you see that you think might be able to do with, what we're doing, or they show some kind of characteristic that leads you to think, hey, maybe this would be a good opportunity. And I mean, I've offered jobs to people at the gas station, waitress at the restaurant, someone that was doing something at the car wash this morning. I've just been, looking for good people. And I always tell them, it's not about understanding roofing. Over time, you'll understand roofing and you'll know exactly what it is. It doesn't ever really change. But it's about the atmosphere. It's about the culture. It's about the support system that you have. Like you said, I mean, knowing full well that if I have a question, I've got probably 50 to 100 different roofing company owners across the country that I could call at any given time and get an answer. That is what really makes our little circle, like you said, so much different. And when you start to realize all the good people are hanging out over here on our side, it just makes you want to build that side up even more, bring more quality people in so that we can just continue to, improve our industry, improve the lives of the people around us. And I was thinking about this earlier. Right now with Rio, we've got the 3 offices. We've got Tyler, San Antonio, and College Station. I think I've got about 22 employee type, sales reps and project managers, office managers. But then you start thinking about the families of those people. You start thinking about our roofing crews. I run 4 roofing crews that have 7 guys. There's 28 other families that we're feeding just off of what we've done so far with this company. And that's something that I don't want to ever take for granted, because honestly, that's the biggest part of the whole deal is, if you can't provide a good living for people, it's going to fall off. It's not going to last. It's going to be a bad deal. But focusing more on that than, hey, we need to make X amount of money this week, or we need to do X amount in sales. To me, the numbers always follow. If you do what's right and you've got the pure reasoning in your heart for doing it, the money's going to come. It's always worked that way for me. I know it doesn't always work that way, but, I've been pretty fortunate that it's worked that way for us. And just, like you said, not focusing on any of that stuff, waking up in the morning and thinking, who can I help? Who can I show some support to today? Who can I make smile? I mean, at the end of the day, I think that's what we're all going to be judged on at the pearly gates. It's going to be, how did you treat the other people that were around you? How did you treat strangers? And I try to make it a point every day to do something nice for a random person, just because. And it comes back around to you. I find myself in a position here that I honestly don't belong in. I don't probably deserve it, but I'll take it because I did put in the hard work to get here, and I've done the steps. And that's what I love about this. I've had support from the very beginning from guys like you, and it's been absolutely wonderful. But that's not really what we're talking about here. We're talking about, the growth and development of people. How many people do you have on your team over at Barrelle Roofing now?
We've got, I think it's 25.
So our companies are fairly similar in size as far as that goes with the staff. As you've continued to grow and scale and add new positions, have you found anything that's, been a real breakthrough position that you had? I know for us, it took me 2 years to get an office manager. And once we hired Joy, our office manager, my life became way easier. I'm not doing everything that I was doing before. That gives us the chance now to look at growth and developing and building more offices, building more leaders. How long into Barrelle Roofing were you the guy that was basically doing everything? And when you finally took that next step and decided, hey, I have to delegate some of this stuff or else, I'm probably going to die from this. How much easier did it get?
So it got super easy. It got easier, right? Well, okay. So that task got easier, right? Because somebody else took it on. When you release something to somebody else to do, right? You're not alleviating everything off of your plate. You are opening it up to take on different responsibilities to be able to grow. And that's one of the biggest things is mistakes that I think some people make is once they get that person in to take over that spot, right? Then they're just working their way out of not doing anything. Really, what you should be doing is finding what else you can do inside of the company that helps it grow, and creating another position or creating something new for the company. And that's huge, right? Like, you don't ever want to put yourself in a spot to where you don't have anything to do. If you've done that, personally, I feel like, you know, your company's about to die. I mean,
Either
straight
that
up.
or they're about to find out that they don't need you anymore and you're about to die.
That's true too.
I was just gone for 5 weeks and I came back and everything was good. And I thought, oh, sure would have liked to have seen some kind of mess up just so I could say, at least you guys still need me.
Yeah, you felt wanted at that point, right?
Yep. And you know what? There's a huge sense of pride to that, though, too. I mean, building the team and being able to step back and not freak out and not have to have your hands in everything is probably the best thing that ever happened to me. And it took a lot of provocation, I guess, or, almost someone taking a cattle prod to me, which our mentors and friends, they let me know, dude, you're not going to be able to grow this thing if you keep trying to do everything yourself. You're only able to do so much. So taking the time, delegating, training, bringing in people to manage the branches, giving the responsibilities to them and letting them run with it has been the biggest thing for Rio. And I'm sure it's the same thing for you, seeing people adapt and understand and learn and become experts in the field when they didn't have any experience before. Like I said, that's probably the best feeling that you can get in life, is just knowing that somebody's better off because of you. And I love that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm gonna tell you, man, the more you do, the more you level up. Unfortunately, there's the less people that clap for you, right? And that's just kind of the way that works. But the clap you get is when you see everybody doing well. You really don't have to have a clap, right? Like, you don't have to have people cheering you on. It becomes more of, you got to get somebody to knock you back into line, right? Not because you become boastful, but because you have somebody saying, hey man, now's the time. This is where you need to go. This is what you need to do, right? Because, like, none of us have been here before, you know. And to have someone to tell you, hey, look, this is what you got to do next. This is what you need. This is the next line of attack that you gotta have, is super important. And like you were speaking about our mentors and stuff like that. It's super, super important, man. Super important to have those, because we can all go out and say, oh yeah, we're just gonna, sell roofs. And that's, people get tired of just selling roofs. They want to feel like they're making a difference too. And, we have it set up to where we have a spot that you can come and land and make a career out of it. And, work your way up and have a career, man, instead of just a salesman's position or whatever here. And, that was, it was a big help when that mind shift came.
Yeah, it literally is when all the growth starts actually happening. And it sucked for me that it took 41 years to understand that, because I was always the guy. And I look back at some of the previous stops and I think, man, if I would have known this then, maybe none of this would exist right now. So I'm glad that I didn't know it at that point, and I'm glad that I ended up where I did. But boy, probably could have saved a lot of frustration, a lot of stress, a lot of extra hard work that was unnecessary, just because I didn't trust anybody else to do what I thought needed to be done. And now I realize that's pretty stupid. But hey, I smartened up middle age, so the next half of my life I should be pretty smart.
There you go. Yeah, yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. And that's always, yeah. When you get knocked upside the head a few times by the people you admire, right? Like, man, get in line, get in line. That's it.
Yeah.
You don't know, right? We can learn it the hard way, or we can learn it the easy way. And I'm prone to learn things the hard way. That's my, I don't know, that's my mantra, man. That's what I strive to do, I think. Not really, but that's the way I would learn it, right? And then I'm like, oh my gosh, man, that's why they were saying that. That's why they were saying those things. And it all makes sense, right? And but there's a path out there, man. If you just follow it, then it'll definitely it plays out to be very well.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I'm one of those people that believes that your path is pre-planned and all the decisions that you make in life ultimately lead you to where you are. And I think of myself as a prime example. I mean, I've just randomly decided to move to North Carolina and start a roofing supply company. I randomly moved to Texas one time. I randomly moved to San Antonio to open a dead brand and resurrect and bring it back. But you know, if you don't do any of those things, then you end up in a completely different place. If I hadn't decided to go to San Antonio, I'm not sitting here right now. Who
There
knows
you
what I'm
go.
doing? So I love that. And just knowing that our path has just started and we're about to really blow up and do some huge things really makes me feel good. One real quick question just about the company, as we continue to pull back and no longer be like the main person in charge, how much of your day-to-day operations are you still, basically this is Kevin's deal and he oversees this. I mean, sales meetings, things like that. To what extent are you still involved versus when you were 100% the guy?
So we have multiple positions, and we got social media, we have marketing, we have data entry, we have a front office manager, we have um, AR account, HR department. Then we have also um, excuse me, project management, right? And so what it's done is it's allowed me to get on the outside and look in and be like, oh, okay. So I'm to say that I've removed myself. I have not. I'm still in the day to day operations. My guys need me. I go out and I help. I help get on a roof. I'll help inspect the roof. We get a storm. I'll go out there and help them. You know, do whatever. Right. And I pass those deals on to someone else and let them jump on them. But I just still go out and I help where I'm needed, and that way, it just I'm still involved with everybody here on a day to day basis. You know, uh, Expanding and helping them expand their thought process and deal with the issues, right? Because as the further you go up, the more problems you have. And quite honestly, so if anybody out there acts like they don't have problems with inside their companies or anything like that, let's just be real. That's not real at all. That's not the way it goes. And everybody wishes that everything would run smooth, but the problems are opportunities to um, have solutions. And you know um, it allow it that in itself is a huge growth for anybody, because everything might not get handled exactly how you wanted it to, but it gets handled, and it's satisfactory for everybody, and everybody walks away happy. And that's really huge. So I'm involved with everything still. I just I might not do that one task all day long, and we're constantly learning. Everything's constantly updating. AccuLink's just updated their stuff, so I call it a financial worksheet now instead of a contract worksheet. So
I just figured out how to work a contract worksheet. It took me 2.5 years. Come on, AccuLinks.
I know, right? Come on, AccuLinks, you just changed the game on us, and everything was working just fine. But apparently it wasn't working for somebody, and they put in the request to have that changed up for them. So here we are. And but the good thing is AccuLinks listens to everybody, and they take it into consideration. So, but nonetheless, we're not here to talk about AccuLinks, but that was just to look at everything's constantly evolving. And, you know, the more I'm able to work on me and evolve myself, then I can help be involved with everybody else. So,
Yep. And you know what? One thing about what you just said with AccuLinks, it ties in perfect to the statement is somebody was having a problem. They reached out and you know, the software manufacturer didn't look at it as a problem. They looked at it as an opportunity for a solution, and they made a solution for somebody, made problems for the rest of us, but that's okay. Now we can figure out how to solve them ourselves. So that mindset, though, to me is so powerful because so many people will just give up or get extremely frustrated, you know, lose their mind and start doing crazy things because they don't understand that the problem is not really the problem. You know, at the end of the day, the person that's looking at the solution and unable to come up with it is the real problem. Any problem is just an opportunity, and that's what I've always preached to my guys. You know, someone calls and their roof is leaking, well, yeah, that's a huge problem. They don't like that going on at their home, obviously, but hey, you called us, we're going to come out, we're going to find the solution for you, we're going to take care of your problem, and boom, there you go. You know, was it really that big of a problem in hindsight? And in most cases, I think some of the biggest problems in the world, when you turn around and look at them in the rear view, it's like, oh, well, that wasn't really that big of a deal, I guess, you know, looking at it from the other side. So I think that's a great way of doing business too, because we're in a business where every single person that calls us has a problem, right? I mean,
well, the
nobody
problem
calls you just to
solver.
say, hey, Kevin, man, heard you do good roofs. You know, your roof is cool, or my roof's cool at my house. I don't need one. I just want to call and say hi. I mean, I've had a couple people do that, but that's weird. But you
Right.
know, we're in the business of solving problems. And like Lee Haight said, you know, we solve big problems for big paychecks. And the bigger the problem, the bigger the solution. And you know, having that mindset of being able to go out there and tackle those things and just address them, systematically take them down and fix them. That's what separates the winners from the losers in everything in life. You know, there's always going to be people that are going to complain and just say, you know, wow, everything bad happens to me and only me. And, you know, can you believe all the bad things? And then there are other people that are living a much worse life than them, and they wake up and say, you know what, the sun's shining today, I get to breathe, I'm alive, and whatever's going to happen today is completely under my control. And you know, that's, I hate to use this as an example because I don't really know the right way to say this, but one thing I learned over time is a lot of people that are not well to do financially are happier. They enjoy life more because they see other aspects of life. Some people get so caught up in you know, just I'm here making money, I'm just trying to work that they just lose sight of the fact that every day is a gift. And you know, so many people probably look back at the end of their life and say, man, I wish I would have done everything different. I wish I would have been nicer to those people that I was mean to. Wish I wouldn't have been in such a hurry that day. I wish I would have stopped at the red light and just, you know, rolled the window down and took a deep breath. Um,
So they lose sight of the purpose, right?
yep.
In my opinion. And you got to have a purpose, and the purpose isn't to make money. The purpose is to help people. And you got to stay focused on that, right? Like, don't get me wrong, man. We all know we got to have money. Everybody knows they have to have money. That's just the way it works. And with that being said, you know, it's going back to that whole mindset thing is if you know, you continue to think positive thoughts. I just made a post about this the other day, and you can, if you can't see yourself going there or there, the people around you, you know, if you can't think that inside of your head, the people around you can't see you there either, right? And you know how, why is it always happening to me and all that stuff? Well, if you think like that, it's going to continue to happen to you, and you're going to you're going to transpire those things into your life. And if you continue, we've all seen it happen, right? And if you take and say, hey, these things are going to be good. This is going to be good. These are the things that I'm going to do. And this is going to be good stuff when I do it. You're going to portray that. You're putting that out there, and it's going to come back to you. And the people are like, man, how are you always so positive? Your energy's so great, right? Like you know, as well as I do. When you and I walk in the room, we have that energy. And they were like, man, it's just contagious. Well, because, man, like, we're doing good things. We're doing great. We are light years ahead of where we used to be, and we still have a lot further to go. And you, it's contagious, and people around you feel it. So if you start thinking those good things, right, and positive thoughts, and putting them out there, the people around you are going to see it too. They're going to start seeing you go there, and the path becomes just a little bit less rough to take, right? Like, it opens it up, and you're able to travel it a little bit better, because you actually, you've put it out there. You've laid the foundation for it.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, one of the greatest quotes that we use here in our company is, we don't have to go to work. We get to go to work. I wake up at 4:30 every single morning, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And the first thing I think of is, man, what are we going to get into today? What are we going to do? Even if it's something just as minor as, hey, we're going to go to the office and I'm going to do a sales training with some new guys for a couple hours. I look forward to that so much. In this past month in my personal life, I've had to kind of get away from the company a little bit, and just being able to get back this week has really shown me that, I've been genuine about it from day one, because I've loved what I've been doing here with Rio literally since the beginning. And I always felt that this is the opportunity that I don't know how I got it. I don't know that I deserve it, but I certainly took it when it was given to me. And I want to preach that to all the people in my company. I don't have to go to work tomorrow. No, I don't have to, but I get to, and I look forward to it every day, because you just never know. I mean, something amazing could happen between now and the end of this day that we don't even know about yet. Bad things can happen too. But like you said, if you think about bad things, you're going to see them. It's almost like you go out and you buy that new neon green Dodge truck, and the next thing you see is like 5 of them in the same town. And it's like, wow, man, I never thought about them before. But once you think about something, once you put that into your thoughts in your mind, that's what it becomes. And that becomes your reality, and I've been in situations. Facebook is a great thing for many, many reasons. But the number one thing I love about it is you can look at your memories. Every single morning, one of the first things I do is I grab my phone and I look and see what happened to me 11 years ago today, 10 years ago today, 5 years ago today. And I can see these periods in my life where things have changed, where my mindset went from being really positive to really negative. 10 years ago, I'm in North Carolina, and I can tell you that I used the F word on one of my things because I was so tired of what I was doing. I hated it. It dragged me to the point where, I mean, I don't like to say things like this because I don't know that it's that extreme, but it's like, if I would have walked outside and got hit by a bus and just been done, I would have probably not cared at that point, And I start seeing the evolution where it's like, okay, I finally got myself out of that situation. I'm in a happier place. Life is great. I go 2 or 3 years and it's like, shit, I got to do something I don't want to do today, or this sucks. I'm starting to get tired of it. And then I move on, because to me, I've always said, I could work anywhere. I could be outside picking up trash off the side of the road for $2 an hour, as long as I'm not doing it under the guise of being a prisoner or being on a chain gang or something. If I'm out there having fun, I can do just about anything, because it's never been about the money. It's always been about the experience, about the people. It's always been about just, brightening other people's day. I mean, I can be a negative dude. I can get mad, and I've got a couple people in my organization that can, listen to me and kind of understand, which is a great thing that I'm grateful for. But, at the end of the day, we're the leaders. We're the ones that everybody's looking up to. And as a leader, you can't publicly have bad days. You have to smile even when you know that something's going on at home, or something's not right in your personal life. That something's not right. You have to come in and flip that switch. And being able to do that, but also knowing that it's completely genuine, and that when I do flip the switch, I'm not faking the fact that I love what I do. It speaks volumes for how we've built the company, the culture that we have, the people that are around us. And again, it goes back to just being positive, man. If you think you're going to step in a mud puddle, I promise, even if it's not raining, you're going to find a mud puddle and you're going to step in it.
Yep.
If you think you're going to hit the lottery, you might not hit the lottery, but if you put it in perspective and say, hey, look, there were probably, I don't know how many people die every single day on this planet, but there were people that woke up, this morning that are no longer with us. There are people that went to bed last night that never woke up. So every day is a gift. Every opportunity that you can have to make someone else smile or just make them feel good about themselves is really, that's the greatest gift we've been given. And I that's what I live my life for right now. So it's awesome. The mindset that we have is just, it's next level. People don't think like this,
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of, we without dropping it, I'm really excited about the things that we have in the works and what we got coming up, and the opportunity it's going to provide to help people and coach them into the next level and shift their mindset. And I'm really, really excited about that stuff that we have going on as well.
I am too. And like you, I'm not going to drop anything just yet, but hint, hint, there's something huge that's about to happen. We're both going to be involved with some other extremely high level people, and we're going to we're not even changing the industry at this point. We're going to change multiple things about multiple industries, and being able to branch out and do what we're about to do it's insane. And again, it just all goes back to the early days. I was going to leave this industry probably 8-9 years ago, walk away. Who knows what I would have done. Mike Code, our mentor, our key guy, started making some videos walking his dog, and Mike, he captured my attention. Years later, I ended up meeting the guy, and now today I'd consider Mike Code one of my best friends, personally and professionally, someone that I owe everything to. But just having someone like that who, just like I said, just somehow by the grace of God, I was done. I'll tell you a quick story. I was in Amarillo, Texas, working a storm in 2011. And it was the worst experience of my entire career. I did not sell an entire roof for 3 months. I went up there. I lost all the money I had in my savings. My confidence was completely dead. It was like, dude, I'm finished with this. It's not my thing. I don't want to do this anymore. And I started looking at YouTube one day, and I just saw this guy walking his dog, and his message was simple. It was just, make it a great day, or, any 1 to 2 minute little blurb that could kind of help change your mindset for the day. And ever since that came into my life, everything completely changed. Everywhere I go, I have people say, you're one of the most positive people. You try to show support to so many different people. You go out of your way to help others. And to me, I don't feel that I'm going out of my way. I feel like I'm just doing what you're supposed to do. But that's the shift. And that's when you realize, there's so much more to this than waking up, going and selling a roof, watching a roof build go up, collecting a check. There's so much more to it. Like you said earlier, seeing someone's face when you transform their property, when you have someone that calls you and says they've been saving up for 3 years because you left an impression on them 3 years ago when you went to visit them, and they never forgot how you made them feel in that moment. Those are the ones that matter the most. And those are the ones that really will always stand out to me because, you've affected someone without even really realizing it. And who knows how many people on this planet right now are better off because of something that Kevin Burrell or Chuck Allen said to them or posted on Facebook, or, you know, who knows? I mean, there are probably people that we will never meet, never know, that have been inspired to do things because of what we do. And that's something I'll never take lightly. I'll never take for granted. And I'll always just really relish that and do everything I can to live up to it, because that's what life is.
Yeah, absolutely. And this next chapter, this next part of the road we're going to travel is, we're gonna be able to do that, and it's gonna be phenomenal. And you know, it's I'm excited about it. I'm super stoked about that, and being able to be able to watch these people get transformed, and just play a small part in that, man. Golly, it's gonna be nice. The reward is gonna be watching them go to the next level. So, and what let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
And so what do you feel like on this next road we're going to be traveling down is, what do you feel like is going to be the most impactful?
I think the most impactful thing that we're going to do is we're going to take people who are in the position that we were in, and we're going to take them to the next level, to the position that we're in now. And then we're going to transform ourselves into a higher level, and we're going to continue to bring people up with us. But I think the biggest impact for what we're going to do is going to be working with the people who are not doing what they believe they can do or haven't achieved their potential yet, and giving them the tools, giving them the thoughts and the ideas, and then putting it into play and seeing them actually take what you teach and make it work. I think that's going to be life-changing. It's going to be something that's going to make us completely different people. And even with our mindset right now being 100% towards helping and serving, I don't think we have any clue to what extent we're going to be able to do that yet. And I think when we stand back a couple years from now and see a huge picture, it's going to be like, dang, I remember when that was a blank canvas and we just put this together in our minds and then we made it happen. You get with the right people and take the right actions for the right reasons. I mean, I thought Rio Blanco was going to be my legacy. Honestly, I don't believe it is at this point. I believe that the legacy piece has yet to begin. I think the next step is where we're going to build our legacy as people, where we're going to leave our impression on the world. And when we're gone, that's what people are going to remember us for. So that's really what I'm looking to do is, eternal immortality, I guess.
So you said something though, right? Like you said that you're watching, helping these people, and it's going to help us get to the next level too. So in reality, the more people you help, the better off you get. It's just a byproduct of it. You help people, you're going to get better, and you can't stop it. It's just the way the universe works, right? Like the more you help people, the better off you're going to be, and the more it helps you in reality. And next thing you know, you're like, oh man, how did this happen? Well, you helped so many more people get better. You got better, right? And I'm excited about it, man. I can't wait till we drop it and rock this machine out, man.
It's going to be amazing. And I do want to mention, I just now saw your message on the private chat. If you'd still like to do that, that's certainly an option. I would not argue one bit.
Let's do
If
it.
you want to take like a 2-minute break,
Let's
I'm
do it.
all about it. I'll be back here in just a moment.
All right.